Hello, history scholars. Mrs. Olson here. Today's lesson is titled Pilgrim Survival. So what we're going to be doing is to put together what we have been learning about Native Americans and think about how these newcomers to the New World in America are going to survive. All right? So beginning with our learning target, it reads that you will be able to examine the Pilgrim experience, and we're going to talk in just a little bit how you are going to do that. So this is you watching the video lesson right this minute. I am going to click next so that we can get to our assignment. And here we go. So here's our assignment, and I've given you 3 options to access your assignment. So you have a Google Doc option, you have a Word option, and then also as a PDF, okay? So if you want to use a Google Doc, make sure that you are signed into your Federal Way student account. And when you do that, when you click on this, you will see the assignment. And then in order to write on it, you have to click File, and then go down just a few, make a copy, make sure that it is named the same thing as this, meaning that you can take the word copy out of the line, and then you can start writing on it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is click on the Word version of the assignment, and here we go. Oh, actually, I have 2 of them pulled up. Hold on, guys, 1 second. All right, so here we go. Now, always start with the entry task, which is generally in green right underneath the learning target. And I want you to think about 3 tools that are necessary, this should say are, that are necessary for your survival, okay? So think about things that you need in order to live and not just things that you want. So I shouldn't see any cell phones on there, guys, because you don't need that for survival. All right, so example, what do I need? I need to be able to cook food because food is a necessity. So I am going to say that I need to be able to start a fire so that I can cook my food. And I'm going to need to build things and maybe even catch my own food. So I am going to say that I need these types of tools. And I am going to need clothing, okay? Because I like to stay warm. Now, this is designed to help your brain think about what it really means to survive. So we're talking about the Pilgrims who are traveling all the way across the Atlantic Ocean to America or the New World. Okay, so the very first piece, the very first resource that I've given you is this table right here. And it says what the Wampanoag taught the Pilgrims. So you have 4 categories, and that they are food, clothing, medicine, and travel. Okay, so what did this Native American tribe teach the Pilgrims? Well, with food, they taught them how to plant corn, beans, and squash. We definitely knew that before. We studied the 3 sisters. Taught them how to fertilize gardens with fish, how to grind corn into flour, how to gather safe berries to eat, how to save seeds for next year's planting, and also taught them the good places to fish. Okay, moving on to clothing. What the Wampanoag taught the Pilgrims was what animals to hunt for hides, because you can use this for clothing, you can use it for shelter, and other things. And then the second one says how to tan animal skins to make clothes. Okay, under medicine, how to gather sap from maple trees and how to use certain plants as medicine, because everybody needs medicine at one point, huh? And with travel, they taught them how to use canoes and then also where the trails were. Okay, so it's okay for you to replay that section again or read it over yourself again. Now, based on this table here, I would like you to think of three things. And that is, what do you think are the three most important lessons taught by the Native Americans or the Native Indians? Okay, so use this table and decide which three are the most important that the Pilgrims learned from the Wampanoag. All right, so pause it here so that you can do that. And then when you're done, just press play again. So when you're done writing down the three lessons, you need to continue to the next page because there's part 2. And this part includes a table and it is titled What Pilgrims Packed. So the categories are food and drink, household items or household goods, and tools. And then in each of the categories, you will see a long list of food and drink, household goods, and tools. So I'd like you to read over each one of those. You can pause it. And then when you do read over the list for the food and drink, household goods, and tools, you want to answer this question. What type of work do you think the Pilgrims expected to do? Okay, so write that in this space here. And then I want you to look at this cell right here and tell me which food group is missing from the list. Okay? Now, you've gathered information from both the lessons taught by the Wampanoag and also what the Pilgrims packed. And finally, you are going to finish your analysis with this question. So, based on both tables and previous lessons, this is your opinion. Do you believe the Pilgrims could have survived without, this should say without the Native Americans? So what I'd like you to do is write down your ideas. You're going to write down your opinion, and then you need to use at least 2 historic details to support your ideas, okay? So use information that we have learned in previous lessons, and you can use information from the 2 tables here. So once again, that question is, what is your opinion on the Pilgrims surviving without the Native Americans? All right, guys, those are the directions for the assignment. Make sure that you ask me questions if you have them. Bye.